On this week's edition of Why, we have a silly Gulf Coast. Georgianne 5. Antique brass with gloss oak blades. Look at that shine. Now, for those who know, I hate Gulf Coast. What is Gulf Coast? Gulf Coast is the house brand for a line of lighting showrooms, mostly in the dirty South, called Dan's Fan City, or Dan's Fan Shitty, if you know what I mean. Okay. Their designs are bland, boring, and just generally malaise. Alright, their quality is so-so. It's okay, I guess. You know, it's nothing special. You know. And yet people rave and rant and rave over these things, and anytime you say something bad about Gulf Coast, it's like you've insulted their god. But, yeah. So, this fan is from the 80s. Not sure exactly when. I would say mid to late 80s. It was new in box. Never been opened. The blades were still in their wrappings. Although the cellophane had torn, but whatever. That's the only reason I got this goddamn thing. It's because it was new in the goddamn box. Because normally I would not be caught dead picking up a stupid Gulf Coast. Would not be caught dead. So, I was in Maryland, somewhere in the Bodymore Murderland area. I stopped at a random habit crap I hadn't been to in a while, and let me turn on a look just to see how it does. And had my girlfriend with me, and of course she had no interest in being there. She finds it all tedious and boring. But anyway, I stopped this habit crap. I realized, oh, it moved locations. Usually that's a really bad sign. Okay. Yeah, usually that's bad, because when a habit crap often moves, it turns to shit. They either stop taking fans, or they don't take anything in that's old, or this or that. Usually, the quality of their offerings sharply, it goes to shit. This one, however, no change. Saw a few things there of note. 3 new in-box fans. First one was an ancient Studio Series remote from 1989 with an archaic remote. Second one, a Beverly Hills something or other. No, an LA Fan Company, excuse me. With a pyramid glass housing. Yeah, whatever. And then there's this. And I thought, okay, cool. And what's the price? Oh, good enough? Alright. So, I added it to my cart, and away I went. You hear a little bit of a ticking there. And that's because of the winding ties are too long, and they're brushing about inside the motor. So what the Georgianne was a Panama copy. Note the Panama vents. That's all it was. This one has a 188 by 15 and what looks like maybe 13 degree blade pitch. I believe it's made by Halsey. Or maybe Sinlix, I'm not really sure if there's a difference, but whatever. And apparently this was their high performance model, which I think is a crock of shit, but let's turn up the speed and see if that actually rings true. What I am noticing is it's actually quiet. Like, about as quiet as a lot of hunters. And of course the furnaces had to go on. Yay. But yeah, back to Gulf Coast. The designs are boring. Boring as all hell. You know? And it's just straight up bland. They like to copy people. Like, all of their offerings are just like crude knockoff, bland as hell. Nothing special at all. You know? I don't know why people get these goddamn things. I really don't. Like, there are better brands to choose from. Much better brands to choose from. And there is at least one person in the fan industry who also hates Gulf Coast. I'll let you take a guess as to who that is. But, yeah. The housing quality, it's cheap, like, you know, cheap, like, you know, low gauge, or, you know, light gauge materials for the housing. The blade irons are kind of chintzy feeling. They're not heavy. Don't have much reinforcement to them. You know. But, yeah, some people still like these things, and I have no idea as to why. No idea. Like, come on. There was Casablanca, there was Emerson, there was Homestead, Vasco, even Encon to some extent. But you had to go with this. There we go, quiet once more. Like, normally, if I found a Gulf Coast, I would pitch it off a high-rise roof. Let's go to high speed. Well, the speed is pretty good, though, I will say that. And the wobble is very, very slight. Not bad. I've seen worse. Much worse. I would say it's probably doing about 190, maybe 200 RPM on high. But with the lower blade pitch, it's not quite Casablanca quality in terms of air movement. Although the blades are about as wide. Again, the only reason I got this is because the price was right and it was brand new in the friggin' box. I would never pick up a Gulf Coast like this normally. I wouldn't. No way, no how. Because these things are dumb. Let's turn it off. Although admittedly the gloss oak blades are a nice touch. Now these things, according to the box, were made in a couple of finishes. Antique brass, polished brass, bullshit brass, as they say, super brass. But it's, come on, it's bullshit brass. It was available in white and brass, white and polished brass, I think white, and then pure white, which I guess is their equivalent to appliance white. So, those are sharp pointed blades, sharp tip. And there you have it. A Gulf Coast Georgianne 5. Fresh out of the box.